SVPod. Stanford Steve is here.
QB1.
I remember these from 100 years ago?
Yeah.
Back in the SVP and Rosillo days? SVP.
Great gift box.
So what number were you?
82.
That was your number.
Yeah.
Rosillo had like an O-line number. You had to just do some Rosillo thing where you got like an ironic number as an O-lineman. He's a big burly guy. I could see him being like a guard on the vineyard.
Active.
Dude,
pulling.
Pulling God. Dude, Rosillo out in open space, trucking kids. Red's here. Very excited to do the pod this morning. Very excited. And it's Wednesday. We got the rankings last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to dive into it because nothing matters less than November college basketball, as we've covered. There was some good action on Tuesday night.
It.
I liked watching Toppin in that Illinois game. That Texas Tech-Illinois game was good. The Louisville-Kentucky game seems like it felt more important for the red team in the Yum Yum house.
Because the coaches hate each other?
Right, and they play nice, but they don't. There's real dislike. Look, Louisville was a disaster for a couple of years. So for them to get that win last night on the home court, and a game where they had a huge lead, it got skinny for a minute, but then they won. Felt important to them. Illinois game was fun. Toppin's nasty. What do you get, 34 or something like that for Texas Tech?
He shot 3 free throws.
They got a horrendous flagrant one called against Illinois late that made no sense. But, yeah, the box score was rather heavy. Big Ten road whistle, Steve.
Yeah.
Have you heard me talk about it?
A couple times.
Boy, is it tough. Anyway, November college basketball doesn't mean as much as November college football. We kind of shifted our time frame to this so we could react.
Mm-hmm.
Massive SEC presence, not unexpected. Big Ten, not as much, but certainly very top-heavy. Gets lean if you're the ACC or the Big 12. I'm interested in if there's a singular thing that you thought, wow, good or bad, or your overall impressions.
One thing that stuck out was the chair saying A&M dominated Missouri, but Missouri didn't have their quarterback and their I also made it a point they didn't have their all-conference tight end, Norfleet. But on the Indiana side, they didn't mention that they beat a team that didn't have their quarterback or their coach. So I thought that was funny, but I don't have a problem with the top three. When you look at, it's amazing when you look at Ohio State and A&M and being undefeated. It's pretty eye-opening when you see what their opponents in conference have done. It's not great. Not great.
No, look at Indiana, the record of the teams that Indiana will have beaten in conference. They're terrible.
Yeah, but at least they have Iowa and Oregon, 2 ranked teams.
Correct.
You know?
Yes, but no, Ohio State and A&M's conference opponents, add them up.
But we're here. You mentioned it. November, you take care of business, you move forward. I do look at the idea of head-to-head mattering.
Does it?
And now it making a point of hearing about how many different former coaches and players are in there. Because when you look at it, the head-to-head, there's instances where it looks like it matters, and there's instances it doesn't look like it matters, a la Notre Dame, Miami, Louisville. But they do have it right with SC and Michigan, Bama and Georgia and Ole Miss, Tech and BYU, Tech and Utah. So there's not consistency there, but that was pretty eye-opening. I look at teams, on the fringe, and everybody's confused because they put Miami in the bracket. Miami is the highest-ranked ACC team with the lowest percentage chance of ACC teams that are ranked to play in the conference title game. I don't think you want to go into it, but there is a scenario where Miami could make it as an at-large team and the ACC champion gets left out.
Yes. Miami I have written down as I want to compare them to one team who is ahead of them. And as you just lay out, there are so many instances of this versus that. And is it not a uniform application of, well, you beat them, so you be ahead of them. It won't work because eventually it's like the transit of A beat B, B beat C, but C beat A, so it falls apart. Mm-hmm. So you can't have it be applied uniformly because there's too many instances for it to work.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is what, 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Their best wins, Oklahoma with Mateer battling his thumb, and home Vandy, right? It's Miami's best win. Notre Dame.
South Florida's ranked.
South Florida's in there. They ended up beating Florida rather convincingly on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Same team that convincingly beat Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't trouble me that Texas is ahead of Miami because Texas has 2 games remaining with top 5 teams. So they're going to get a chance. If they're worthy, well, they're going to demonstrate it, starting this week in Athens and then the last week of the year in their place against A&M.
Mm.
But it's the subjective comparison that I have a hard time with. And there are some examples where, well, let's see. Texas played Florida in the swamp. They lost. They were down double digits until relatively late. Miami played Florida at home. It was a close-ish game. They ended up winning by a bunch. And I don't know that I believe that Texas should be that far ahead of Miami as an example. But Miami lost at home to Louisville, who they're ahead of. So that falls apart. My Miami-Texas thing falls apart because there's an actual head-to-head with Louisville, who beat Miami, and Louisville's behind them. I think this is a long way to go to just say, basically, it's like looking at a cake that's halfway baked. I can't get upset about what it looks like at the moment because the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks will settle it.
Mm-hmm.
I just find some things I just find curious. Notre Dame's best win's going to end up being probably what, USC?
Yeah.
They've got it figured out, man. Like, we're an independent. We're going to get the benefits of our name and our rep, and we'll get none of the downside of the potholes that other people face. I told you that like week 4. They'll be fine. And they're going to be, barring Pitt, Stanford. Come on, Steve. Look, the main thing is the SEC's going to end up with a ton of teams, and they should.
I don't know.
Whoa. I think there's too much head-to-head.
Georgia and Bama are favored against Texas and Oklahoma.
So is it Texas is out, they lose?
Not if they come back and beat A&M.
Here we go. The 3-loss team conundrum.
I mean, are any of those teams going to have a top 3 win?
I don't think so.
And then Oklahoma, where they are. So I think you're right in saying we'll worry about it when we get there. But Miami's in a way better chance than they were last week.
Correct.
Way better.
Well, that's because of the carnage that we discussed Saturday night.
And Joey did a good job last night talking on the show. Like, we get to this point every year and we're trying to figure out. He's like, teams lose.
Yes, they do.
All the time.
That's the main thing I thought about last night is you look at this snapshot and people fill out brackets, which is all you can do based on what it is now, with the understanding mayhem is almost certainly ahead.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, when you wait for it and it doesn't happen, then you end up having to make hard decisions. But some of this is just either or because they're going to play one another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was... did you watch the show or no?
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard show to do.
I agree, because how do you reveal it all?
But the Miami conundrum.
Yeah.
You know, like my wife walks in, she's like, "Oh, Miami's going to get in the playoff." I'm like, "Oh,
the TV show."
They have to. But then I'm staring at the bracket. I'm like, should they just put ACC there? But then they can't because it's not. It's Miami.
Right.
But
I agree.
The spot right now is the ACC conference champion. So they're putting them there because they're the highest ranked ACC team. It's a really tough thing to do.
I agree. And on Saturday night when you and I were talking, and they were their own little section of the show for the reasons of holy shit. Wake goes in and wins, and you've got all these just dominoes falling that are questionable. And what does it mean for this? And what does it mean for that? And there's no real easy packageable for television way to describe it, because you could do the whole thing on the ACC.
Yeah.
TV, it's called the A block. Depending on how long your show goes, you get into the middle of the alphabet. You could have done the whole thing on just the permutations of if this, then that.
Yeah.
Because there's too many fucking teams.
And you're going to be able to do it next week, too.
Sure. And right, of course.
But the idea, and I thought they did a great job of kicking things around the desk. I love that Heather brought up the committee made a point to look at. You see where Georgia Tech is. Remember that game against Wake Forest? They acknowledged that.
And if those
that should be a loss.
Well, right. And people that are listening, you guys are probably pretty deep in the weeds, college football fans, but it was a game. There was a 3rd and 5. There was an offsides, and it was blatant, and it was missed. And if it's called, it's first down. Georgia Tech's out of timeouts. Wake takes knees. Ball game. It's essentially a win, but viewed as a win that came with an asterisk in the eyes of the committee.
Correct.
I say good on them for doing that.
Yeah.
You're saying but.
No, I'm not saying yeah.
No. The committee.
Oh, yeah.
The committee's going, you won, but did you?
And they have the best chance to win the ACC championship. So your opportunity is there. But I go back to Miami. Like Vanderbilt doesn't have, like, is Tennessee, Tennessee's down at what, 22, 23, Jack? 23. They're going to get that. They got to go to Tennessee. So like a 10-2 Vanderbilt, I'm like, wow, that's not going to get in, because you would think other teams have more opportunities. USC, path is there. It's there. They go to Oregon, and they go to Oregon. No, they go to Oregon. Oregon hosts SC and goes to Washington, but SC can do some damage. They got Iowa coming in. That's a ranked win. They didn't drop Iowa much at all after the loss to Oregon. Texas Tech, I thought, was interesting, jumping Ole Miss, just knowing that you're that much closer to a possible bye. But talking to the people in Lubbock, they want a home game. Everybody wants that home game.
Just, if you're Texas Tech, focus on what you can control.
You got UCF coming in.
Control your controllables. Win the games that you're supposed to win, and I'm saying you'll get that home game.
Yeah. But, like, the way the rankings came out, the one thing I saw, and it never holds up. Notre Dame at Eugene. Buddy.
Giddy up.
Oh, man, that would be so good.
That's
so good. Oh, wow.
Just playing the video game and looking at the brackets, if you're if you're fortunate enough to have a program that is a fixture in the playoff, obviously. It seems like a ridiculous analogy and exercise, but if you look at the potential bracket a few weeks out on that, it's never what it is.
No.
Because one of the great things about that game is how much it mirrors real life, which is that the uncertainty and unpredictability of this sport will show itself. Sometimes you say that, and sometimes it doesn't happen. I feel like that comes with the NCAA tournament in the bracket, where we'll say, there's going to be upsets. And then when there are none, it almost feels not like a disappointment, but a surprise. But the one thing that we've experienced in the relatively short life of this bracket, and I'm talking about the 4 bracket, but now the much larger bracket, is that teams will lose.
Oh, yeah.
Starting this week.
Mm-hmm.
Starting this week. Big 12 feels like it's won.
Yeah, I mean, unless Cincinnati, they have one conference loss. They
them
BYU.
Them and BYU, but it feels too much like it's going to become subjective, this versus that, as it relates to the second team in that league compared to the back end of either a Big Ten or an SEC.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you saw that in the difference from last week to this week.
That's what I mean.
I don't understand Utah being so high. But that's like again, conversation for another one.
Okay. I think the point that you've made when you talk about opportunity and whatever it might be, that is a synonym for path as it relates to these teams.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a USC, if you're Miami, if you're anybody that's sort of outside of it for the moment, all you want to know is what's our path look like? And the most important thing for those teams is to manage their path, win their games, and then bank on seemingly inevitable wobble, stumble, and implosions of people in front of them, which will happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you on Vanderbilt, though, a team that could have an all-time season. Got some amazing moments, and it might be a pat on the back and a big bowl game, which in years past would have been a pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
That will be this year a disappointment.
Yeah,
if it goes that way.
Yeah, I do look at them, though, still having the wherewithal and the culture to realize, and I will mention it's still as good a season I've ever seen you have.
Of course, but you also know that there's one dude in particular that is responsible for that who won't be there moving forward, in Pavia.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can recognize we've never had a year like this, and man, it's been a lot of fun. But it'll also potentially feel like a fever dream if he leaves and you regress back to something not what you once were. I don't think as long as Clark Lee's there with the kind of institutional buy-in you've got, you're not going to go back to being a punchline.
Yeah.
But when you got a window, man. This is spoken as a guy that in Maryland's whole life went to 2 Final Fours, but they cashed that one. If you only have a narrow window, you want to make sure that you max that sumbitch out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. Just think about them and how much we talked about them this year and how much respect they've earned.
No doubt.
From not just these two bozos on here, but across the sport. And I keep looking at them and going, man, I don't know. But you know what? If you're in Nashville, just keep winning games.
Yeah.
Beat Tennessee, let people stumble in front of you, see what happens.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to leave them out if they beat Tennessee at Tennessee.
Big ask.
Mm.
Particularly given the really difficult loss Tennessee's already had. You really think they're going to lose to them? That would be a tough one. I know there's a guy that's part of our group that that temperature in the seat would warm up, I would imagine, if you managed to drop that one. If Michigan beats Ohio State, where are they?
I think that would get them.
That game,
tricky game this week.
I agree.
Northwestern's pretty good.
You know what they do? They play defense.
Just think of that fake punt.
Everyone's mad about it. I think it's bullshit.
I said we walked, different people were watching it, and obviously we saw it come in, and we try and catch up on the highlights from people that, we're out in Central Time. Our day starts that much earlier, so we're talking about it. And my quote was, if you told me that happened, and you asked me
who did it,
one coach, that's who I would guess did it.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying that is what I expect from that lead program.
Okay. I can connect the dots on what you're saying. It's beyond the spirit of competition. You're doing something is illegal.
Yeah.
And then you want to throw your hands up and go, no, but you know what you're doing.
Same number.
That's bullshit. Can't hide under the, like, if cookies were left out and Charlie ate 8 of them. Well, they were out. I didn't, it was, you can't do that. He'd do that too, by the way. I'm thinking about that Michigan-Ohio State game because as much as I think of the line I said to Ryan Day last year afterward, sitting in Atlanta with him shivering in the freezing cold after he took the Gatorade bath and it's 5 degrees outside.
And his golf cart smashed.
That too. Saying to him, you know what's cooler than gold pants is a gold trophy, because you get the gold pants at Ohio State for beating Michigan. Everyone at Ohio State knows that, but outside that conference and that geographic footprint, you might not know. Gold pants really matter to them. Beating Michigan really matters to Ryan Day. A lot of folks wanted him done after they lost to Michigan. And short of the new playoff, he probably would have been. But there was this new playoff, they got in, and then they went scorched earth on everyone and won a title. But you know what that title doesn't get him? A win against Michigan. And so all year, as good as they've been, they're number one. They got to go to Ann Arbor. And I think you can want something in life too much. It can become debilitating in some ways. So as clean as Ohio State's been, as good as they are, as nasty as that defense is, you got to go to Ann Arbor. And it could represent, as much as you despise and want them, that victory for you, it could represent for them their ticket. Buddy.
Talk about channeling some energy.
That bad Michigan team last year, relative to what you tend to be, went into Columbus and won that game. Those are some pictures of that scene. That's not a tunnel, but it's that outdoor walkway into the stadium where you could see. There's an incredible picture of the boys from maize and blue, and you are staring into the eyes of the beast. 100 and some odd thousand. Filled with rage. They slayed him, man. I couldn't have more appreciation for what it takes to do that in that singular instance or in sports in general. Just to walk into the eye of a storm and to walk out on the other side. Whew. That's what makes that game so remarkable to me. That's coming. It's coming. I just couldn't help but think about that last night as I'm thinking about, okay, talk about the teams on the outside with a path. There's a number of them, and they're one of them. And it's a game against a team that, for all they've got, their head coach wants that so fucking bad. And I love that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's what rivalry is. That you could have everything. I'll give you everything for this one thing. See, now I'm talking out the side of my mouth, because last year I said you can want something too much and it can get in the way. And it felt like that was happening.
I'm saying.
I felt like it did last year. Channel.
Also, their quarterback got knocked out. Was playing.
They were
that.
Understood. Weird shit happens in games like
that's
that.
What I'm saying. Lace them up.
You're going to Pittsburgh for a team that we've been talking about. I go back to whatever week that was when they started the freshman. I remember they were.
It was against BC.
No, it was Florida State was the game where I remember
His first start was BC.
I understand, but when I made a point of writing it down on the hieroglyphics, because I watched that game and they were dogs and they won outright, and I just kept seeing them make plays, and they kind of got lucky in that Florida State game. There was like a fumble going in that bounced, and they maintained possession. This is so deep in the weeds, it doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, that game, watching that young man play, caught my eye, and I thought, they got something here with this dude. And since then, they've shown that they're a dangerous team. But Notre Dame is double-digit favorite, huh? Oh.
Yeah, there's some Desmond Reed, their best player, didn't play against Stanford. They're off a bye. It sounds like they're expecting him back. Their best receiver, their two best linebackers, what's his name? Byram and Corey. Or two linebackers have been dinged up like the last 3 games, and I think people are expecting it. Sounds like they're going to play, which doesn't make sense where the line's going. maybe all the Pitt money comes in when they get confirmation that those guys are going to play.
I just think it's a dangerous team that's catching a giant number from a Notre Dame team that found their footing here. But that's a gigantic game in the scheme of this because Notre Dame is Notre Dame, and they've got all the institutional advantages that come with it. But if they lose this...
Yeah, I can't wait. That stadium, sold out. That's awesome. Noon game. Let it rip.
Where you guys set up for that?
Outside the stadium, on the banks of the Allegheny.
Tauntaun.
Yeah.
The confluence, rivers.
Do you want me to go say hi to your spot?
Please tell them I send my very best. Not bringing up condiments and sandwiches again. I don't know people telling me F you on the internet lately.
Yeah.
As we've discussed.
Hear you.
Anything else college football related?
No.
I mean, you got two massive games, Texas, Georgia, OU, Bama. Those are short numbers. A lot of respect for those road teams.
I know. I went back and watched Texas yesterday, and now I'm I think Sark got the O-line figured out. Played well against Vandy, and I think a lot of Vandy, they couldn't get to him. And Georgia, they don't have the pass rush they have had. So,
you know what they got, though? Barn owls.
Yeah. Oh, they'll be out. And you think about
hooty-hoo!
13 sacks in 2 games last year. But they had 2 first-rounders. So we got good NFL games this week?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah? How about your Ravens?
I try to tell people.
Hey, your Ravens colors on.
Just be fun. And they are going to be. Red hot 4-5 Ravens. Pittsburgh not doing great. What's that lead down to? 1 in the North? I mean,
that didn't take long.
Baltimore was favored when they were 1-5 coming out of a bye. They were still favored to win the North. Burrow's practicing. I don't know.
Dane Daniels? No update?
I don't know. There is an update related to that.
There better be.
All right, we'll get to that.
Or else this is over.
There are great games this week. When you look at the top of the NFC, the Eagles are the reigning champions of the league. We got to see them in Lambeau. I thought a lot about that game after the fact. Was it a good game?
It was ugly, tough to watch. I think both teams with significant injuries on the O-line.
Yeah, that's a big part.
And the opponents who, like, I think I said it last week when everybody talks about the Eagles. What's wrong with the offense? What's wrong? I was like, how about how the defense steps up when they need them the most? And that's what they did the other night. I thought Orlovsky made a great point the day after watching it, just how cautious Green Bay is. Don't let it rip enough. And I thought it was in the 2 games back-to-back, the offensive plans of what he was saying against Carolina and then Philly. It's like, you got all these guys, like, let it go, man.
Hey.
But no, to your point, both defenses, I thought, really attacked guys out on the offensive lines. And, I mean, you saw it. Barkley, what do you have, 1 run, 16 yards? There's no flow. It's choppy. And, you got to win those games on your way if you want to reach your goals. And Philly did what it had to. He still hasn't said the word punt.
No, but I looked at that. There's the video, and I thought back of what Devontae Smith said to me on the set. And I don't know if you had ears and could hear what he said.
I couldn't hear because of the fans that were yelling.
Mutants. Philly fans take over the set chanting, Dallas sucks. Did it in Kansas City a few years ago,
Yeah.
Did it this week. Dallas sucks. You know what? I love that about you. I asked a question about that decision, and he said, hey, look, if 1-11 are going to want to make a play, we trust 1-11. And you see Sirianni go, why did he throw it? He said that. I think they're trying to get him to jump. And Hurts and Brown check to it, take a shot. They've done that play repeatedly on fourth down. That's their go-to fourth down play. Trust that A.J. Brown's going to either win a 50-50 ball or get a PI call. And so they took the shot. I'm convinced that's what happened. They checked to it. And because Sirianni's saying, why did he throw it? I don't believe that he wanted them to snap that football. But when they did, it created a possibility, and it was a really skinny lane, but it created a glimmer for a team that was otherwise doomed. But the game...
But hold on. About that. We still
could have punted.
Why?
Just punt the ball.
But they never even reference it, and I'm just reading between the things here, and you're going back and looking at it, and everybody's like, what the hell is going on? And I start thinking about how long it took Sirianni to get to the podium. I mean, we were almost off the air. That was one of the last things we did. We finally got it in. We wanted to hear the explanation.
Right.
Felt like there might have been a room on the side.
Conversation.
Before the press conference to figure out.
Line our ducks up.
What
were we doing there?
There.
Well, Steve and I are sitting out there on the set in Lambeau, and Sirianni's talking, and Steve's sitting there with his hands like extended as if to say, what? And so when we come back on the air, I look at you and you go, how about a punt? And I'm thinking, of course, that was an option that you could have availed yourself of. Just, you're at the 35.
And I don't care if it's a touchback.
Right.
It takes time off
exactly.
The clock. They don't have a timeout.
Your opponent is the clock right now. Green Bay's opponent is the clock. You know what? They won, and so it doesn't matter.
I want Barnwell. Where's Barnwell? He'll know why.
I'm telling you right now, what Devontae told us, he said, if 1-11, I trust them. That's what happened. They checked to a throw. 10-7 was the score Thursday night, Denver Raiders, and I thought, God, this game is horrible. Horrible. Unwatchable. Blech. Thursday games, get what you get. And then you get a 10-7 on the back end. I got to be reasonable. I think the difference is there were two really good teams in the Monday game, but there weren't in the Thursday game. Hurt said afterwards, that's the best defense we've played about Green Bay. Speaking to the cautious nature of their offense, that's they're going to kill them. Yeah. That's their problem. You've lost 3 football games this year. Games you gave up 16, 13, and 10. I promise you, I haven't looked this up. I know for a fact I'm also guessing, really. Shout to Charles Barkley. There's no team that has 3 losses with an average of 13 points given up. None. That there was a stat I saw, and now I am guessing. The stat was that, and it was that teams who've given up 16 points or fewer in the NFL this year, it's like 63-5, 63-8, something like that. And Green Bay's 1-3. Their offense just, I don't know. Love gets careless with the ball late in the first half. They fumble it in scoring territory. They're not taking shots. They don't have Reed. They lost Dobbs in this game. You lose Kraft, who is a gigantic difference maker on offense, their tight end. Okay, but they're so conservative, and I just think the offenses of these other teams that are at the top, you're really, really limited, and you're going to be ultimately have a short stay in the playoffs if you get there. If that's what your offense looks like. Particularly when I look at the other teams, like teams who play in Los Angeles this week, in Seattle and Los Angeles, and they don't look like that on offense.
No.
I've said it for a month now. I like the Rams better than anybody, and I stand by it. Excited to see them play Seattle. Seattle's defense, all 3 levels, they'll stress you, they'll test you, but the old graybeard right now, no one's playing the quarterback position better. No one.
Devontae leads the league in touchdown catches?
He does, and he's got
that from Cap.
He's got like 7 or 8 of them inside the 5-yard line.
Smith-Njigba's first in receiving yards, and Puka's second.
And number 1 in touchdowns is?
Devontae.
Correct.
And Stafford's first in TD passes and pass yards per game. Darnold is first in QBR and yards per attempt.
Now, if you want to point to Seattle and say schedule, There is somebody made this point to me on Twitter just because I sent out a tweet about who's the best team in the NFC. I mean, it's good fun. And then the schedule that the West plays this year is AFC South. So your out of conference AFC is not uber challenging. Fair.
No offense.
All due respect. What do you think's worse? No offense or all due respect?
No offense is used way more.
No offense, comma, offense.
You suck.
No offense is immediately followed by something that is offensive.
You're horrible.
But I've just couched it by saying, no offense. You're a disaster. I hate you. All due respect. I think when you end with all due respect, it's more patronizing. And I think no offense is just as a heads up. I'm about to hit you with, what do they call it? Like managerial, like the shit sandwich. Start with something positive, get to the real part of this, what we want to say to you, end with something decent. No offense is just, hey, prepare yourself. AFC South, no offense. You're not great, comma, all due respect. I just look at how you beat the teams you beat. And what Seattle has done in these last 2 weeks against Washington and Arizona. You obliterate them. They're never in the games. You play them the way it plays out in college, where it's just such a gigantic gap in the talent that you're not close. But, Seattle's best victory, maybe early at Pittsburgh, okay. But much like we were talking about with Texas, I'm not going to worry about where Texas is relative to the rankings because they play in Georgia and they play A&M. Seattle's going to get a couple with the Rams. They got another one with San Francisco, I believe. They get the Colts as well. Mm-hmm. Okay. But I'm convinced that what Seattle is really good, but I still like the Rams the best.
I just want to see Darnold do it in this spot.
Which is a reasonable ask. A reasonable ask. Do you think those two teams, though, have separated from others? I mean, Eagle fans can don't be an asshole. Yeah. You did beat the Rams. I saw it.
Yep.
You beat them on a block kick for a kicker who's no longer kicking for the team on the last play of the game. But you beat him. I just love the Stafford story.
Yeah, you do.
Because I've been not an apologist. I've just been an appreciator, a Stafford appreciator for a long time. Dude's taking injections all summer because he's old and beat up and his back's a mess. And he's thrown 20 touchdowns against no picks for the last 6 weeks. It's crazy.
Why didn't you draft him?
Because I thought he was holding out a bad back. Because he is and he does. I also didn't know Devontae would turn into his Mike Evans. They get down there on the goal line, and Stafford and him just have that thing. Also, you got Puka, who's probably taking the attention of...
Oh, yeah.
Like, we got to choose one or the other?
Tight ends that get in there, mix it up.
I made the point the other night, and I said, look, I know this is sacrilege, but a tight end that was wearing number 87 on like a flip to the back right corner of the end zone, and he leaps up and catches it. I said, I don't want to say Dwight Clark, but it had that stakes weren't as high, but it was just a throw where Stafford looks like he's throwing it away. He knows where he's throwing it.
Yeah. Just like the throw Drake May made to Diggs. That, like, right over to DB's head, that's unguardable.
I'm going to get to New England in just a minute.
Home field.
Rams, Seattle this week. Chiefs, Broncos. It's a big-ass football game. Denver's 8-2. Cool.
Yeah.
They have entirely too many halves of games where they're not great. And winning is fantastic because you get to enjoy what wins get you in this league, a playoff berth, potentially home playoff games. But it'll be a short stay if that's how they're going to continue to play football.
Yeah, I thought Kirk Herbstreit made the great point. We were together Friday after he called the Thursday night game, and we, go back, what this and that. He just like, the Broncos are Georgia. Georgia is the Broncos. Whatever the hell they're doing in the first half isn't working, and then they tighten it up in the fourth quarter and they win games. And to your point, Denver, you still just want to see it. Give me a full 60, see what it looks like. Because on the other side, I think about, was that their last loss, the Colts game? That was the leverage call. Yeah. Oh, the Chargers the week after.
Yeah, they lost
both those games.
They lost back-to-back games that were.
They could be undefeated.
Yeah, they could be, but you also. That's like the guy that 3 putts on 18 and says, I should have broke 80 and forgets that he chipped in 4 times. You scored 33 points in the fourth quarter against the Giants. So sure, you could be undefeated. You also could have lost that game.
But the Chiefs are still the Super Bowl favorite.
Understand, and this is
if they lose, are they still going to be?
They're going to be really hard for people to mentally quit on.
Maybe the hardest of all time.
I was just going to say.
Mahomes in his prime.
The problem for them is just like they're the photo negative of Denver. Just like Denver gets to enjoy the benefit of winning these games at 8-2, the downside of being Kansas City is you've lost these games and you got to live with it because you got 4 losses, which means you're almost certainly a road playoff team, presuming you're a playoff team, which means you're almost certainly going to have to play wild card weekend, which means you got to win 4 games, not 3. And you're probably going to have to do it on the road because you've still got this game against the Broncos. You've got the Colts, another game at home against the Broncos. Go Chargers, go! This feels like the toughest game they have left, in my opinion.
Really?
At Denver.
Okay.
What's the Colts?
To your point, I saw the Giants go in there, and I get it.
8-2, Steve.
I got you.
8-2.
I got you. So that's 425, and then Rams Seahawks 425.
Yeah. Big 4 o'clock window.
We're gonna need 2 big TVs.
That's a must-win game for Kansas City. Gotta have it.
Yeah.
Gotta have it.
They'll have it.
Bills Bucks this week. Lions Eagles this week.
8 o'clock. Bills Bucks is 1?
I believe so.
We got a good game.
In the Pooptown window. Get up early, Steve. Madrid. Commanders Dolphins.
Oh, my God.
When I said.
So if I were to go out west, people are going to be in the sports books at 6:30 watching that game.
Absolutely. Drinking Tanqueray and tonics.
Mimosas.
Wearing Issey Miyake.
Champagne.
Can't wait. You said home field for the Patriots.
Yeah, I've said it for a month.
I know. You believe.
Yeah.
Drake Maye MVP talks coming. I know how much you love in-season MVP odds and things of that nature. What do you got for me on that?
I think Jonathan Taylor is.
Guy's got 17 touchdowns and like 1,400 yards.
I had the under in that game.
How'd that go for you?
Oh.
That was disgusting.
Oh. Can you do the Wisconsin accent? Like the O's, are they close to Philly or no?
No, it's that's like Minnesota. Like Minnesota is that sort of a
like
big time deal.
I'm sitting at Grohl's, the spot next to Lambeau, watching that, getting a early lunch, brunch, whatever. And the Packer fans are behind me, and they're like, "There he goes!" As Taylor's running down the sideline. I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
Because he's a Badger.
There you go.
He's a very, very proud Badger alum. Yeah, he's the MVP. But relative to MVP talk, don't care. We're both in the tank for Vrabel. And then this has happened immediately. The impact of his presence, May's ascension. Go back and there's other pods that do the redrafts and things of that nature. I don't excel at stuff like that. But now with Daniels being hurt this year, people are going back and looking at May, who was probably won that year going into that last year at Carolina, but he lost all those weapons going into that season. And there's a reason why Maye was so highly thought of, and he's showing it to you this year.
Yeah, our guy Sheehan hasn't had me on. We bickered the whole draft. I haven't heard from him.
I'm sure we could.
Except him texted me, asked me to send out winners so he could see a picture of himself.
My friend locally who's like 75 and 40-something on his picks this year. It's just an incredible run. Kevin Sheehan, 980.
Look him up.
Yeah, Google him.
Legend.
He's like Signetti. Google him. He wins. Don't duck him. Have him back on. You could do the forensic analysis of Maye this year. They are benefiting the way Washington benefited last year from a last place schedule. That's a gigantic part of anyone's success. Who do you play? But you still got to beat the teams.
They did beat Buffalo and Tampa.
Correct. And, well, the win at Buffalo and the win at Tampa are impressive wins in this league. So the Buffalo win started hey, maybe they're real, and the Tampa win on the road reinforces that idea because it coincides with Buffalo losing to Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, Buffalo's got a scrape now. I texted Darlington. He did a sit-down with Drake Maye. Did you see any of it?
I didn't.
Drake Maye is about as boring as Tom Brady is. There's not a lot there, and I thought Darlington did a good job.
Getting something?
And yeah, he got something.
Well, that's because Darlington's just Darlington. He's just
what a freaking dude.
He's handsome and charming, and just you drop your guard a little bit.
I can't wait till he has to go to one of those cold games. He, like you, has no idea how to dress for the cold. We'll get to that. Anyway, no, he said, this is my first time being at the stadium since the Brady statue is up. He's like, that thing is big in more ways than one. How do you absorb that? And he talked about taking ownership now. This is a new era. There are some pieces regarding Vrabel and McDaniels of having a piece of that, the prior run. But like he didn't shut it down. He didn't like go in another direction. He didn't purposely not answer the question. He gave you something, and you don't get that a lot. So I thought it was good for him because, again, he in that market, he's the biggest thing now. I mean, Tatum's hurt. The Celtics don't have anything. Like, it's Drake Maye, and you know how that place can be. So it was good to see a little personality from him that I think helps everything. I think the world of the kid. You saw that going to North Carolina, staying there. In the beginning of the NL, he could have named his number if he wanted to go somewhere. So no, it's an awesome story. Is much as I enjoyed not hearing from my Patriot fans on Sundays the last couple of years, that's over.
Yeah, but it's different. It's not Belichick and Brady. It's Maye and Vrabel.
Yeah,
it's a different.
But the fans are the same. It's 0 to 100. Like it is. That is certainly a true thing. Good.
That's a true story.
Yeah, I think they got home field advantage. So
let's talk about another quarterback in that draft, Caleb Williams. They're 6-3. What do you think of the Bears?
Making the most of opportunities. I thought that was very impressive. I know it's the Giants. They end up getting rid of their coach. But to come back and do that and score points repeatedly, I think has been awesome to see. Like, you got Ben Johnson to do that. You got Ben Johnson to coach Caleb Williams. You draft these pieces in Adunze, who's coming on. Loveland had the big game against the Bengals. So, like, we've talked about it. We were there the first week. That you talk about a starving fan base that's actually likable. They need this. Now,
I just look at how they've won games. I mean, they were incredibly lucky to beat the Raiders. They get a block kick. They're incredibly lucky to beat the Commanders. You get fumbles, but they won the game. They're incredibly lucky to beat the Bengals in a game that they have, then lose, then win. And they were fortunate to beat the Giants. But you know what the common denominator is? Figuring out how to win games.
That's what I'm saying. You're making plays to win the games. Yeah, a little luck always helps things. But the ability to score, I think this is a monster game this week.
That's
monster.
All of what we're saying, I think, leads to this. Because that Minnesota defense, all right, Caleb, what do you got?
Yeah, second time.
Correct. What do you got against that Flores-led defense and a Minnesota team that has zero wiggle room at all at this point? giant spot to see, does it continue? Can you continue? I thought Kyle Brandt, who joins us on Sundays on SportsCenter from NFL Network, made a great point about Johnson. He's like this sort of Dexter serial killer mode. You get nothing, and then you get that good, better, best post-game. This is a totally different dude, which I respect. I appreciate that lane, that he's got that gear, too, to be that psychopath coach in the locker room. But mostly you just see he walls it off. They keep winning football games, and you make the great point. When we were there to start the season, which feels like 100 years ago against Minnesota, now here they are in the mix.
Yeah, I was watching that Giants game. It's snowing.
Yeah, it was.
I was walking around downtown in shorts, knowing that was coming to an end. It was first week of September.
And it did. We were cold. It was cold on Monday night.
About that.
Yep.
Had 48 hours to assess your preparation and doing of knowing again for the 5th time we were going to be in cold circumstances.
Yeah.
You have the ability to dress yourself.
I'm a big boy.
And put on proper deals.
I did.
Assess.
Wore some long johns.
Okay.
Had some didn't wear the Gucci's or the Ferragamo's. I wore a proper boot. I had a sock that was not like a thin little dress sock. It wasn't hose. I didn't have on elaborate hosiery. Notice how I'm putting those on very.
Did you put anything in your shoes?
Those hand warmer, foot warmer things?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay.
And everybody had them. Ryan had them. Jason had them. His guy Dutch had them. He tried to hook me up. Dutch gave me some, and I don't know what I did with them.
Didn't put them on.
I didn't. I had on a very proper knee-length cashmere, handsome. I felt like I looked great.
You did.
I just didn't wear a long, like a cold gear top underneath the shirt.
Yeah.
That's the one. That was the one.
How many do you have? 20?
Oh, Steve, I have at least that many.
Right?
Yeah. That was my...
More than bathing suits.
Ooh, that's a good one.
But you wear your bathing suits. You don't wear the stuff that's going to help you in the cold. And then...
That wasn't going to solve the problem.
It's going to help,
It was 20 degrees.
It's going to help you immensely. You're out there for 2 hours. You're not moving. You need a layer.
That's a fair point.
And finally...
Yeah. The earmuffs?
Your hat game.
Yeah.
There's a hole in it.
Yeah.
Is that why you won't wear it on television?
No, I feel like I wore a hat. I'll tell you the truth. I'll share it with you guys.
There we go.
So I wore the hat last year in Kansas City when we were there for the playoffs. It was debilitating cold. And I had on a hat, and I didn't pull it all the way down. I had like a nipple on the top of my head.
There's a hole in it.
That's a different hat. So I think I have a phobia about having a hat on my head that looks ridiculous. And so I'll wear it during the breaks, and then when we come on in the segments, I take it off, and then I put it back on. The hat I had the other day, Red had eaten the back of it, and it did have a hole in it.
And when did you realize the hole was in it?
When I put it on my head in Lambeau. And so I'm like, oh, there's a hole. There's a hat. There's a hole hole in the hat. So I'm like, we'll be all right. I do need to address, before the playoff game this year, I'll make sure I have a hat that I feel like I can actually wear. And
gloves.
See, all right, yes and no. As the host of the program,
yes,
you have paperwork.
Okay.
A lot of papers. There are no gloves made that allow you to feel the paper and turn the pages.
Okay.
So I got to get some of those hobo gloves where the fingers are cut out or something so that I can flip the papers, because I got too much paperwork. I'm trying to manage. I'm trying to call the plays, run the show.
You have the hand warmer packets that you didn't have that I gave you.
Thank you.
You put those in your pocket.
Uh-huh.
And when your glove's not on the hand, you have that in your pocket. So your hand isn't frozen constantly when you do have to take it out.
That would help.
F.
Wow.
F.
The grade is F.
F.
For fail.
We're going to put F and then that picture of you with the earmuffs on top of your head. Oh, I had my daughters watch it. They could not stop laughing.
So Steve was kind enough. Somebody
just chucked
someone in our crew just chucked the little earmuffs, and I tried to put them on my head.
They're the ones that go around your neck.
Well, I didn't know that, so I tried to put them on my head like headphones, and they didn't fit. And we're doing this live on television, so that was good fun. The earmuffs. See what I did? I took earmuffs and headphones and made them one thing. They're not. The earmuffs did not fit because I put them on this way. I needed to go that way. And then eventually we got it. And then the minute I did that, I said, oh, this is rather nice.
Yeah.
This is kind of nice.
What a concept.
Yeah. Okay, so I get an F, but you know what? I'm giving myself an A for the look. Had a handsome gray wool pinstripe and a black cashmere. Come on. I felt like, you know what? I felt like I looked nice, but I felt really cold because I got an F. And I'll own that F. I need to just wear a hat that doesn't have a hole in it that red is chewed. And I need to wear something underneath the shirt.
We were talking I was talking to our friend Chick last night, and he said he was watching the show, and he just looked at me. He's like, how cold was he? Because he looked like he was freezing.
Yeah, I mean,
like, he was cold.
The show starts, and our industry-type friends that are watching, you immediately get, looks cold. And I appreciate you watching, but you want to say, yeah, no shit, it looks cold. You want to know why? Because it's cold. What did Michael Irvin say about back in the day? We was cold. Well, that's how it felt. Now, I could have helped myself, but as Steve said, I got an F. I'm about to get an A for Pooptown. You ready? Pooptown. I don't care that the Jets won. You can't beat a team in Pooptown and get out of Pooptown. The Jets aren't good. Pooptown.
Pooptown.
Cleveland, you can't lose to a team in Pooptown. You're in Pooptown.
Pooptown.
Titans, don't think we forgot about you because you didn't play. Long-term lease. Pooptown.
Pooptown.
The Raiders. We're coming to see you. Lop, lop. Pooptown.
Pooptown.
Saints got a dub. You like the road whites, by the way, for the Saints?
They still don't wear the right. Those are pretty good. That helmet face mask thing. But they still never wear the gold pants.
Just wear the gold pants.
You won a Super Bowl in them, for Christ's sake.
Just wear the gold pants and you got it figured out.
Thick black stripe down the sides.
You beat them. You beat the Panthers. Very small. Town.
Pooptown.
I have a question about this team. They fired their coach. Their record says it. But if you're that close to winning that many games, are the Giants really in Pooptown? I say no.
Wow.
They're close-ish to being.
They're 2-8.
And it's like however many years in a row they're in Pooptown. You know what? They fired the coach.
Yeah.
Hit the drop.
After I asked you not to.
Hit the drop. Pooptown.
They were watchable.
Pooptown.
Pooptown.
But now with Dart, I don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be. Pains me. Causes me real pain. Commanders are in Pooptown.
Pooptown.
They're really not good.
They're awful.
My kids were at the game Sunday. Air Force One flyover. They were like, whoa, that's a big-ass plane.
That's exactly what I said. When I saw him, like, that got bigger.
I know. Big airplane. President was at the game. A lot of Lions fans at the game. Washington's defense is just a mess. Quarterback's out. Madrid. They're so beat up with injury. Excuse. Pooptown.
No Dolphins.
Oh, no, they're in it.
All right. We got a Pooptown battle in Madrid.
And you're going to be on Vegas time.
Not
up early for mimosas and omelets and a Pooptown special.
No chance.
Dolphins, Commanders. Ay, ay, ay.
What's that line?
I don't know. Let's peruse, shall we?
That's Patriots.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Big one Thursday.
Washington, Miami is given 2.5. Oh. Wow, an underdog to Miami. You know what, though? There was a picture. I don't know if it's real. It could be AI. Everything at this point, I just assumes AI. I don't know. By the way, this is a disaster. That whole thing is a disaster. You don't have any idea what's what. Real? I don't know. Oh, no, it's AI. But the picture of Mike McDaniel driving by a bar where Bills fans allegedly go, just giving him like a Mike McDaniel look, like, what's up? That's a concerning loss for the Bills. My whole thing this year that I've said a million times, I'll try to stop saying it, but it's the way I look at it. How bad you're bad, which is the opposite of how good you're good, which I've said forever, but how bad you're bad. You lose to an Atlanta team that can't figure it out on Monday night. You get beat by a Miami team that just has been a disaster at times, where you're down double digits. Couple of turnovers that were just barely turnovers, but look, Cook lost a fumble, Allen loses a fumble, you're playing from behind. I don't know, man. I like Buffalo quite a bit, but they've lost 3 of 5 games.
You don't have a defense you could rely on, and when you turn the ball over 3 times, you said it. You're, what is it?
Wiggle room?
Yeah, or your term. It'll come to me.
Your
range for error?
Margin for error.
There we go.
Same idea.
You're so good with words.
Thanks, pal.
Better than dressing.
Oop. I looked fantastic.
You did.
Thanks, pal. It's not like I think they're not good. They're good, but you can't be losing games like that. Give Dolphins credit, though. Don't know if that was real or not, that picture, but
tried hard.
During the Giant game, like at the end of it, I sent out a tweet about Russell Wilson. I said, Mr. Limited. That was mean. I don't do shit like that. Like, I don't send off snarky tweets. That was small. We shouldn't do that.
Apology. Accept it.
That's not the way to act. Don't be a dick on Twitter. And that's what that was.
Put the phone down.
Don't press send, whatever. But it was fascinating to find out there's a Russell hive out there. They came from my head and told me I was a bald bitch. Oh. And I'm a bald bitch clown, is what they told me. I'm like, well, I am bald. That's not hurtful. I have a mirror. I can see that. But it was just wild that this group activated out of nowhere. And it's like, hey, he's had a hell of a run, but they're mad at Dable. Like, it was just wild to see. It seems like bot activated activity. I don't know how that works, but it was fascinating to find out that there were folks that were ready to come for my head, as if the last 4 years of Russell Wilson is all like a made-up thing. But that notwithstanding, I have nothing to do with. Sending out that tweet, that's just small and dumb. And I don't aspire to do small, dumb things. Mr. Unlimited, Mr. Limited, it's just a bad joke, too. I think they should start Jameis, just because I think that the Jameis experience is just, you get the whole range.
They'll get you out of Pooptown.
He was named starter.
Oh.
Jameis is named starter? When?
Yeah.
When?
This morning.
Who are they playing?
Jameis is the starter?
Yes. Jameis against the
Packers.
Packers.
There are some people on the internet that are going to be so angry. So angry.
Packers, Giants. We got a must-watch 1 o'clock window.
I'm just worried about those folks on the internet. They're going to be mad, and they can't be mad at Dable because he's not the coach.
Who is the coach? Ray Hanley?
Kafka made interim.
Oh, Kafka.
That's right. We knew that. Because when I went on with Michael Kay on Monday in New York, he asked me about the timing, and I said, you know what I'll say? As a guy that roots for a Commanders team that every year we get reminded by the fact that in the Washington, what's the word I'm looking for? Not their office, their team at the
facility?
Yeah, and thank you. Now, see, you're so good with words. In the facility, the team photo, you're like, holy shit. Washington had McVay, McDaniel, LaFleur, Shanahan, Morris, O'Connell. There's others. I don't know who else. But you had coaching superstars in the building. And now they're all elsewhere. Well, maybe Kafka's the guy. Give him some runway to see. And if not, then fine.
Sling it. I think they got a stud at tight end, Theo Johnson.
Beat him.
Yeah.
Maybe don't call more design runs for your quarterback than any other quarterback in the NFL. You got to protect him from him.
Yeah.
I get that that's part of what makes him dangerous, and it worked, Dable and Allen and Buffalo. But Allen's Allen. He's like Dart's a big dude, but Allen is like a rhinoceros. The big man. So I don't know. Maybe they figure they've got the guy in there. But the Jameis experience is coming to town. What a wonderful human. Remember last year in the snow, and that guy spreads joy. He's like Santa Claus. Like Santa Claus, just a trail of joy in his wake. That's what you want to be in this life.
This time of year.
Yeah. That's Pooptown. Your guys are going to Pitt. What? Is there anything else?
Where are you going?
What, this weekend?
Yeah.
Well, we're heading out west. Headed out west for some gaming. All I'm saying is there's a level of curiosity.
Yeah.
Level of curiosity about what is waiting.
We got an ETA?
No, I'm not going to have to map that out today because we're going Sunday now, and there's too many good games, so I have to figure out when it is that when do you get on the plane to leave to head that direction?
How early do you want to go?
I don't know. It's either you go early, need to get there an early. What's the joint called? Peter Luger?
Oh yeah.
Is that on the docket?
Oh yeah.
Like planned, or just talking about it?
It's waiting one person.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Or we could, if you do get there early, there's maybe the best setup in the country.
Oh,
to watch games.
That buffet out there?
Yeah, if you want to call it a buffet. And it is. Oh. So, you let me know. I will go accordingly.
All right. All I ask, I just want to sit with me and you at a pod-out table so that I can I want to be the most positive force of good.
It's going to be such a letdown.
I know. And then here's how this is going to go.
Oh, I already said it last week.
I'm going to play two hands.
This is stupid.
Oh, God. When people call you out on your bullshit and you know that they're right, you just got to acknowledge it and say, yep, I'm gonna not know what it is. I'm going to not understand it. I'm going to hate that I don't understand it. So I'm going to blame them, not me. And I'll say it's stupid. And I'll say, where's the high limit room? We need to play blackjack. That's how this goes. 1 billion%.
And it's already in motion.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And you know it.
Yeah.
But just like there's nothing better than standing by a craps table, not really understanding what's going on and screaming dollar yo, which I've done.
Kenny Mayne.
Shout to the great Kenny Mayne. I just think sitting with you and trying to figure out
There's
what I'm
no figuring out. Houseway.
Well, I don't understand the point of that then.
It takes 1 second.
No, but what's the point? And there's no point. All I do is sit there and go Houseway.
Yeah.
Can I win money?
Yeah.
Okay. You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. I'm definitely going to say it's stupid and leave.
No doubt.
But for some period of time, I'll be really excited and eager, which will be followed inevitably by an abrupt letdown and a departure. Okay, so that's happening. Then we got a big Monday nighter. Raiders, Cowboys.
What a scene that's going to be.
Yeah, because it's always Halloween for those folks, a lot of those Raider fans, to begin with.
And there's Cowboys fans everywhere, so.
Everywhere you go. But as games go, I don't know. What's the one the week after that? Is that when we go to the Giants game? We don't go to the Giants
That's
then?
when we go to New York.
Oh, we go to New York. We're doing the San Francisco game from New York because this is inside the Beltway and it doesn't matter to you guys. Then the week after that is New England.
Jameis.
Jameis led Giants. Hey, last year, late in the year, right after Thanksgiving, we saw Jameis and Cleveland against Denver, in Denver. And Jameis threw for like 400.
And to the other team twice.
Fine. That's just what it is.
I know.
Going to get some good, some bad. It's like life. You take the good, you take the bad, you take the something, and there you have the facts of life. Tootie.
Can we get him? If they lose, can we just still have him as our post-game guest?
Jameis?
Yeah.
I don't know. We never get quarterbacks.
Yeah.
This Lisa talks to typically the quarterback.
Yeah.
But if it's the losing team, we've never done that.
Yeah. Flip the script.
Yeah, we lost. Don't care. Just
Oh.
want to talk to Jameis.
That would be a tough scene.
What?
Foxborough, them coming down to the set.
Yeah.
We can't.
You got the guys that are dressed up like the militia over here. You got people with muskets. Dude, you brought out they lost. Get a winner. Anything else?
No. One quick thing. Your daughter is older now. Did she ever go through the phase of just doing cartwheels and round-offs and all over the house?
No, she likes to hurdle things. So what we do is we set up things to jump over and run and jump over them.
We are in this gymnastics phase that it is.
Your oldest?
No, youngest. That it's just, if you're not paying attention, you hear the pounding. Like, she's big enough now where, the footstep, you're like, boom.
And then you have what was that?
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Then it's silent. Then it's bad.
Right. If there's the silence, it's like thunder, lightning and thunder. How long is the gap between the thump and then the scream? The longer it is, the worse the injury. That's factual, proven.
Yeah, it's just a nonstop around them, knocking stuff off tables, doing it up against walls, trying to do headstands. Oh, man. Something's going to get damaged really bad. I just know it's coming.
You know what word I find is effective in shutting that down? It's one word. Enough. You could say, could you stop? You could raise your voice. You could say.
Hold on to the E. Enough.
No.
All right.
I think it's more the face that you make when you say it. Because you could say it with, all right, enough. But see, all right is a modifier of enough. All right, enough is probably, they know. But when you get them with enough, I think you have to hit the enough. That's the key. Emphasis on the enough of the enough. That's when they'll typically, and this is what Red is saying. When Red comes out of the back, he's saying enough.
And the one thing that really stinks is you just can't ever tell your kids to shut up. That would help everything.
No,
but you can't do it.
You can't. At least you shouldn't.
If you do, let me know. Because I commend.
You should.
Because everybody gets to that point, and you know that's what needs to be said, but you just can't do it.
No, but enough.
All right, enough.
Could have the same impact.
Yeah.
No, you don't have boys, so
no.
we have the shirts off tackle football in the basement, and you're just waiting for. You're hearing the thump, and then you're waiting for the thump, and then the head into the wall. And then 1,002, 3, high-pitched scream. Someone's bleeding. That's how that goes. So you're probably less likely to have that with the girls.
But is there constant, like, all right, game's over, we're going upstairs, and then whoever's holding the ball, the other one tries to hit it out, and then it's just another.
The biggest problem is we'll play. I can guarantee when we got home from school today, Dad, can we play a football game? Of course. And the problem is whoever's behind is furious. And then, God forbid, I underthrow a receiver and there's a pick, then particularly the youngest will just say the quarterback sucks. Those exact words. Which, let me tell you, cuts to the bone. And you can't really say, hey, you dropped the third down throw that was perfect. I just got to eat it that he's mad. And I tell him, there's nothing that's more fun than playing. We're having a blast. There's nothing less fun than the end of the game when one of you's furious and crying and chucks the ball and quits.
Tells me I suck.
And then tells me it's my fault. Make a fucking play. How about that? Don't drop the third down throw. Make a catch. No, you don't. That's not how it goes. But
what's inside?
No, but you're thinking it. Especially when the little guy will give you, he just doesn't say anything, and he just gives you this look with his arms outstretched going, like, and so when he makes the drop now, I just look at him and do this, and that's when you'll see the smile on his face, and you're like, all right, at least he gets that we're just having some fun here. And it is fun. It's fun until inevitably someone is furious that they've lost. And then you have to try to come up with some kind of way you can rig it that everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And that's what
old.
Exactly. That's what I say to him. I say, fellas, before the game starts, no two-hand shove, so we're not going to fall down on the driveway. There's none of that. And whoever loses, no complaining, or we won't play again. That lasts until the last possession when someone's down and they lose. And then someone screams, stomps inside. Do your kids door slam?
Oh, yeah.
Someone will get sent for a little reset, and there's stomp, 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 and there's the walk, and I know how many steps it is. I'm like, don't slam your door. Boom! Enough! The joys.
I had an Uber driver yell at me for slamming their door.
Yell at you?
Yeah. Like, oh! I'm like, sorry, I didn't know the Tesla doors are paper thin. Got to make sure it closed. You still have that push the handle thing to open it. And then the window always comes down a little bit. I don't understand.
Buddy, you want 5 stars and a tip? It's pretty simple. Don't scream at me.
Didn't mean to slam your door, but it's paper thin.
You're a big fella, too. If you give it a purposeful shove, I can understand. Probably rattle the inside of the joint.
It's 4:45 in the morning.
There's that also.
Red's ready to go.
Red he's at the door. Eyeballing
Does he
me.
do that when he has to go to the bathroom?
Could be. I mean, I don't want to find out the hard way.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, because
I figured if he did, he'd be all right. We really have to go right now.
No, when he really, if he gets a door scratch, when he starts scratching at the door, that's when you know.
The bag.
All right, about time to
2 bags.
Got to go. With that in mind, we'll see you Saturday night.
Oh, that's going to get in the way if you want to leave early.
Not really. Just get up. Get on the bird and head west.
Lop, lop.
Oh, boy. You see us at a pog-out table, by all means, come sit and we'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
About the rules and about what's dumb.
Ask Scott about the old days of the Peacock Lounge.
Might have been the guy. Might have been working in Newport.
Maybe.
Bad decisions were made. That's all I'll say. I was a younger man. Now old and washed. All right. We're off to see the Wizard. Have a good couple of days. We'll see you Saturday night and maybe Sunday.